And we're recording.
Now.
Hey, everybody. This is Dan Boul coming at you from the office studios in Van Nuys, California. Not my normal thing. Today is July something.
It's
I don't know.
24th.
Today's July 24th. As my good friend Brett Chasen, everyone,
Hi.
has just told me, he's going to do the Ed McMahon for the show.
Yes.
You're correct, sir. And anyway, this is just what I think in California terms we would call a bitchin' studio in Van Nuys, California. And Brett and his partner Bob Kulick, who will hopefully join us here shortly.
He's on the way.
Right on. And if you guys...
And he won't have to look for parking, so he'll pull...
Yes. I'm not in his parking spot.
He'll pull right up.
So that's perfect. So we're going to play... Scoot in a little bit, buddy. You're off screen there. Let me move the camera just a hair. And then maybe some nice guy will write in and show us how to do this shot. Look, it got worse.
Dude, the shock is deteriorating.
No, there's like this. There's a method.
Nah,
to it.
there is. It's like a whole. It's like a crisscross kind of. Yeah.
Oh well. At least you can hear us.
You see this needs. See this.
It needs to be like that one. This is funny. Yeah. You know what? How many guitar players does it take?
Yeah, right.
See, there's nothing on this one over here. Yeah. That's one of the problems.
That's a problem.
And oh well. You know what? The mic works.
Yeah, funny thing is, this seems harder than designing an amp, doesn't it?
Yeah. Way harder.
I mean, you figure out a way to like make tubes respond in that way you did in the producer, but
yeah.
The shock mount is proving to be a real freaking bitch.
How embarrassing. Banjo player could do it. And Anita says, laughing my butt off. What was it? Yeah, that's us, clowns. How many guitar players does it take to plug in? Well, we can plug in the mic, fine. It's doing this Rubik's Cube of a shock mount that it's just not funny. Yeah. I want to talk to the people at Neumann. Make a note.
Yeah, I will.
'Cause this is crazy. You let the sound guy do it. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I thought you guys want to hear some guitar again. So Brett and Bob have been picking up a couple of 65s. And if you guys saw my Facebook post 2 days ago, the sound clip that I put up was this London through this cabinet and these mics and this board and the whole thing just dead straight. And, you know, there you have it. So I thought I'd come over and do that, and we're going to try to do the show here pretty regularly, I think. So if Bob comes in, we'll have him play some guitar too.
Yeah.
And I want you guys
People
to
will ask him Ace Frehley questions.
That's right. Yeah. Bob Kulick you may know as the Shadow Ace Frehley. And he can tell all those stories. I don't feel appropriate telling you. But if you're a big fan of Kiss, you're a fan of Bob Kulick. He was, I think, slated to be the original guitar player.
He auditioned.
Right.
He auditioned. Ace auditioned right after him, actually.
Yeah.
And, you know, they thought Bob was a better player. But...
That's because he is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Bob's a monster player.
Yeah.
Ace is...
He's entertaining.
He's Ace. I mean,
he's Ace. Well, and then ironically, Bob's brother, Bruce, ended up replacing... Not Ace, but the guy that replaced Ace.
The guy that replaced Ace that replaced Ace.
Yes.
They went from Ace to Vinnie Vincent
right.
for a moment, which didn't work out, to an LA guy named Mark St. John, who
right.
lasted a minute.
Right. And then Bruce.
And then they went to Bruce. Now the reason, here's an interesting side note, the reason that they didn't take Bruce right off the bat, because Bob was saying, you guys are looking for another guitar player.
Yeah, my brother's great. Yeah.
I mean, this was right around, right before Lick It Up. It was right around Creatures of the Night.
This is the unpainted era, right?
Right. Well, Creatures of the Night, they still had makeup, but they knew Ace was going to bail.
Ah.
And they were using Vinnie Vincent, and Bob was playing on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they had guy from Mr. Mike Ferret. You know who it was, Bob knows.
Yeah, that guy.
Doing some session work. And they said, you know, you should really check out Bruce. I think he'd fit real well. He's tall like you guys.
Right.
And the reason it took him so long to get to him is because he had a mustache.
Oh, you're kidding.
No. Paul was like, well, I don't know. He's got a mustache.
So
We would have
ironic.
taken him earlier, but he had a mustache. Like, why didn't you just ask him to shave it?
They got this new thing now called a razor.
Exactly.
So what you're saying then is Kiss is basically very similar to working at Disneyland. No facial hair.
No facial hair.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Fair
mean, can you
enough.
imagine the makeup with the facial hair coming through? It would have been hilarious.
Hey, you got some. Yeah.
Yep.
This is my Les Paul rock and roll. Really? What are you talking about? It is a good one though. Brett's got a great one right over here. Is that yours or is that Bob's?
That's mine.
Hey, you got a few Les Pauls here.
Indeed.
We'll go through them. I see 3.
Brett,
right
I
off
love
the
your
bat.
Paul. Actually, Willie, the one that's Dan's. But mine's in the background. You happy to show section?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he meant your Paul Stanley. Your impression.
Well, how about my Paul Stanley with the pole?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just throw you both of them.
This is his guitar, Stanley.
Well, it kind of has like a Stanley burst going.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though this is iced tea burst. But,
Very cute.
2011 R9. As I say, it's the one that says bad motherfucker.
I'll bring my R8 in, and then we'll have the R's. We'll have the collection. So Rob Stafarian, great handle by the way. Also, it's a bit funny to take a break from guitar circuit development to watch Amp Maker. Yeah, man. We're all nerds, aren't we? Has anyone played the 2013 Les Pauls with the truss rod condom? How do they sound? Very prophylactic, I think.
You know, I don't really play guitar. I'm just sort of holding it so I could feel part of a group.
Now, you guys got to know Brett's a drummer. So, you know what we should do sometime is like you can go in on the kit and then we can all jam.
Well, that's the beauty of like we could
Yeah.
bust everything through the
Right.
through the tons of inputs that we have, and we can get it all bust down to you know.
Run it to Ustream. Well, I think that's.
But I think it's going to be a great idea. You know, we can get some of the bands down. Obviously, you know, a ton of them. Bob and I know a
Well,
ton
the
of them.
bands you're working with.
That
It's like,
too.
hey, fellas, new CD's coming out in 2 weeks. Here they are. You know, like check them out live and ask them questions. You can interact with them live.
Cue the drummer jokes.
Oh yeah,
And that
man.
drummer will speak very slowly then.
Oh.
Nice.
See, you're in.
Yes, it was Steve Ferris. Yes, Andre's right. That's exactly who it was.
Steve Ferris. Okay.
Yeah. See, I played just enough guitar that I could chat.
So do you know Davey Farragher plays bass with Elvis Costello?
No,
He's in my fantasy band, and this guy is like.
that's like fantasy.
You mix Paul McCartney and James Jamerson in one bass player. You got Davey Farragher. He's ridiculously swinging, grooving, robust bass player. His sister-in-law Anita is on here, and she's a publicist.
Okay.
So you'll see she's the only woman who's brave enough to come on this show. There's a band here in LA called Jack Shit. It's Val McCallum playing guitar,
Okay, sure.
and Pete Thomas, who's Costello's drummer,
Okay.
and Davey, and they do this thing. It's like it's in the tradition of like Dred Zeppelin or something, where they dress up like just complete hicks, and they put on these blind dumb stares, and they have these hilarious accents, and they act like they just fell off a turnip truck, and then they just play their balls off. I mean, it's just insane.
man.
Val McCallum's, you know, like one of these insane. He's up there like Lyle Workman and Mike Landau,
Right.
you know, those guys, that level of studio player, and they just blow your eyebrows off. They're just amazing. And then they got these cowboy hats and these hillbilly shirts. I'm like, well, gosh, thank y'all. We just learned that one last night coming in from the farm. And they stay in character like the whole time. They do not drop out of character. And Pete Thomas is English, you know, so he never talks. But he's got this big goofy cowboy hat on, and he's swinging,
That's
playing. It's
hilarious.
really good band. Yeah, shtick power trio is what Anita says. That's what they are, and they're fantastic. But it's just like when you go to see Dred Zeppelin, like, you know, Fat Elvis singing reggae versions of Zeppelin tunes, and it's just pissing your pants funny. But at the same time, if you just close your eyes and listen to the band, they're great.
Right.
You know, that's the thing. So anyway, let's see. The Office Studios.
There's actually no "the" in front of it.
There's no the. It's just office.
Just
I'm
office,
sorry.
office.
It's not Dunder Mifflin.
It's just office.
Right. Okay. Got you. Sorry.
And it's really just a ceremonial title. It's really just me and Bob.
Brett and Bob.
I guess you got to call it something.
I like it.
Yeah, that works. I guess.
So I'm going through. I have this like fantastic pleasure of sitting in front of some amazing gear. We have a SSL AWS 900 right in front of me, which is insane. It has the big thing right on the thing that distracts me every time I look at it. It says solid state logic from Oxford, England, which makes you go, ooh. No, we're not going to form a band. I don't know, unless we have a lot of spare time or we start making a lot of money together.
Why not?
Then we will. But I want to do, nothing but Zeppelin versions of reggae songs. And like every
better than reggae versions of Zeppelin songs.
Yeah, that's right. I hate mama say the way you know, I'm gonna make you sweat.
Just not a reggae guy.
Me either.
Yeah.
It's like, every time I go to a reggae show, no offense to reggae connoisseurs, but do you have this experience when you go to a reggae show? By the time they get to like the fourth song, I'm like, didn't they already play this one?
Oh, I'm by the first chorus.
And it's like, it's cool, man. I'm grooving, but anyway.
Yep.
And I think all this amazing outboard gear. I'll pan the camera around here shortly. You can see all the gear.
Give them the nickel torque.
And they've got every flame-throwing, cool, heavy metal amp you've ever dreamt of here. And they're starting to kind of get interested in medium to lower gain stuff. So they contacted me, and they're both such sweet guys. And really talented guys. We just kind of immediately hit it off. And I was talking about my show and how everybody always says, hey, why aren't you playing on the show? And I tossed the idea out here, and they said, man, bring your rig over, do it. So I brought in a bunch of lights today. We just set it up slapdash, like right before we went on the air. So
we were still, is this thing on?
Yeah. Right. It was like 5 minutes before we were on.
But seems like it's working out well, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the lighting we got to work on a little bit, but it's a fantastic cooler. And we're in the control room now, which is bigger than my apartment I had in New York.
I lived in New York too, and it's true.
Yeah.
I had a room in New York in this apartment I lived in, and where my bedroom was, it was just basically like an alcove.
Yeah, where you can touch both walls when you're laying in bed.
Fit a twin size bed. Now I don't mean a bed and a nightstand. I mean
just a bed. It was like being on the rack in a bus.
And it was on the 5th flight walk up.
Oh, yeah, I had a 3-story walk up.
And basically, I had a drum kit that was in the living room in cases. That pretty much took up the living room. You just set the small TV on top of one of the cases, and that was the table because there was really no other room for. I
had a Marshall stack, and it's kind of like just walk around the amp and come on in.
Carry the drums 5 flights down for a gig,
Oh yeah, my whole place was this big, and like the kitchen was over there, and the toilet was right there. And then, it came out to about here. And then I had this much room. And 25 years ago, it was $1,000 a month. 25 years ago. And that's the equivalent of like $4,000 a month now in New York.
This was about 1990.
Yeah. So I was, I'd moved from LA to there. And when I was in LA, I had a 2-bedroom place. It was like 1,400 square feet. Living room, dining room, 2 bathrooms, 2 big bedrooms, plenty of room, 2 parking spots, and I was paying $600 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went there and go, I get this room? Where's the rest of the place? It's like, that's it, Jack.
Actually, I have an interesting question.
Yes, sir.
Now, the show is called Lunch with Dan Boul.
Yeah. Is Bob bringing lunch?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Now, do you ever actually have lunch during the show? Lunch with Dan Boul?
One time, there's a guy, he lives here in Van Nuys, actually, who hasn't been on the show much lately. But I jokingly said, I gave the address of my old shop on the show and said, someone call and order pizza and deliver. And he actually walks in with a pizza like 20 minutes later. He ordered the pizza from the neighborhood joint, drove over, picked it up, walks in. We sat there and ate pizza. That's the only time.
Well, we should invite Richie down. Tell him, he's always good like that.
Yeah, he's good for food.
And he's right in the neighborhood where I'm at, so you should come down and buy some food.
Absolutely. Hey, Peter Donkers, how are you? Is this a one-time show in the studio? No, we're actually, our goal is to do it here. The show, that is. And, sorry. These guys may have already done it here. I don't know.
No!
But that's private stuff.
I eat lunch during the... Willie eats lunch during the show.
Right on.
See, I think we should eat with Willie, dude.
What are you wearing?
What do you guys think? Dude?
Andre Mack, that's very witty. Touche. He says, slapdash, not like the usual precision we're used to. We're accustomed. Touche, sir. Touche.
Do you guys like the studio setting? I mean, what do you think so far?
We're gonna tart
feedback.
We're gonna tart it up a bit and get the lights better, and we'll get my cabinet mic'd up in here. And this cabinet I'm going through is fantastic. I like it. If you guys know the Wizard stuff, I mean,
it's just a big ass 412.
Well, Rick St. Pierre, I think, is doing what I do with medium gain stuff. He does the same quality of build, as good or better, with high gain stuff.
He's pretty much Rick is the wizard.
He's an erotic freak like I am.
Yeah, he's the wizard of that flamethrower, that hot rodded high gain Marshall-y thing. He's the guy. And
Brett, how many do you have here? 4?
4. Yeah.
I played 3 of the 4 here, and they're really nice. And you know me, I'm not a high gain guy. And even I was going, oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's really nice.
He really knows how to do it. He's also a great guy.
Oh yeah. Maybe we need to heat this mic up. I know when I play the guitar.
Heat the mic up a little bit?
Yeah, because I'm kind of killing them with sound.
We can do this.
And we do have. There's 2 lava lamps right here. Someone just said maybe lava lamps. We have 2 lava lamps right there.
So I just gave...
Check. Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah, it is? Okay, good.
We'll get it down, guys. Oh, Anita. Yeah, good call, Anita. I see Mr. Kulik.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, Bob.
From Los Angeles. Actually,
how you doing?
From New York. How you guys doing?
We're good. We're just like testing out the first iteration of this local show here.
Okay, great.
How are you, man? Good to see you, brother. You want to say hi to everybody?
Come say hi.
Everybody. I was going to change my shirt and
okay.
Be prepared to
be
on,
Yeah. You know, I shaved my back just because I was nervous.
I shaved
But
oh yeah. If he sees me playing a Les Paul, he won't get too upset.
Oh, fair enough.
Take
yeah.
Your time,
okay.
Take your time. But everyone's been real excited you were coming on, Bob.
I can't see them put all. Okay, well, you know, we'll pan the camera around here, but I wanted to play some guitar. I've got our good old trusty London here, which, just for those of you that I haven't played the London on the show, I think, in a long time. So let me tell you what it is really quick. The local show with Dan Boul. Hey, that works. So the London is our first amp, and it has 2 channels, and I'm in the EF86 channel now. It's a pair of EL84s, and it's loosely based on 2 of my favorite old dual EL84 amps, one of which was a 63 AC15 that I used to have that was incredible, just rich distortion. That's the channel I'm on right now. And then the other channel is very reminiscent of the old London 18 watt. Now, we didn't just copy the circuits. We started there, and then we tweaked and changed and enhanced and removed some stuff and added some performance things to it. So it's just kind of those 2 things. And this was the amp that we made for Peter to use with Sheryl Crow. The Scandinavians object to local. Okay, fair enough. But it's local, man. I'm in Scandinavia too. But, you know, so anyway, this amp was so Peter could do that whole thing, right? I got it cranked pretty hard right now, but it does a little bit. I can just roll the guitar back. Anyway, so it's kind of one of my desert island amps. And big sound. You know, we really made it sound a lot bigger and a lot fatter than those original amps. And that sound clip that I posted on Facebook 2 days ago was actually Bob Kulick, who you'll meet here in a minute, playing through this amp, through this cabinet that I'm in. This is kind of their just static rig that they have here. And it makes a big sound. Maybe we can get him to even play that little lick again if you want. And he's working on his brother Bruce Kulick, someone you may know is a member of KISS for a long time in the 80s, and fantastic player. And 65 minutes. Ooh, I like that. 65 minutes show. 65 minutes. Profane Airplane. Gold star for you today. So anyway, Bob's going to come in and hang out, and it's all good, and we'll have fun. What speakers are in the cabinet? These are G12H30s, the Heritage ones. Andre Max says, I just looked over. My wife is also watching the show on her lap. Well, hi, wifey. I apologize for the vulgar language we use and the suggestive jokes that we make here. Usually I don't assume too many ladies are watching, so I try to keep it. I think just 65 minutes. Guitar will not stay in tune. And then this is my Les Paul. I have the Ron Ellis pickups in. And I think Ron is watching in his lab today or in his office, but can't participate. And I just want to say hi to everyone from Princeton who's in. I talked to him this morning. So he's got a bunch of physicists from Princeton in, and they're sitting around listening to me play rock and roll guitar. It's just kind of fun. Funny thing about me playing guitar, thanks for the kind words, guys. I really appreciate it. I literally have not played guitar in like 4 to 6 weeks, you know, maybe for an hour. And so my hands are, it's incredible how fast they go out of shape. I'm really struggling. Will not stay in tune either. I guess I need to restring it. Which kind of Ron Ellis pickups are these? I think they're pretty close to the ones he did for Leroy Parnell. They're not very high output. There's Bob.
Greetings again.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for letting me invade your space, man.
No problem.
Are you sure?
Having you here, of course.
Really?
Truly.
Come say hi to everybody. Everyone, this is Bob.
Hi, everybody.
Bob Kulick.
Bob Kulick. Yay.
And Bob, when you look at pictures of Bob, he looks like the happy, angry metal guy.
Happy, angry metal guy.
But what I want to tell you about Bob, from what little I know of Bob, we're just getting to know each other. He is the sweetest guy in the world, and he's nothing but a gentleman. Nothing but a gentleman.
Well, thank you so much.
And so it's fun because you got like this hippie rock and roller like me, and we got these metal guys. Right. I wave like this, Bob waves like this, right? We do that every time. I go, hey, man, see you later. And he goes, oh, yeah, okay. But you guys, hopefully if we do the show here more, you'll get to know Bob a little better. You get to know Brett a little better. I think you're just going to fall in love with these guys because I certainly have. And it's a lot of fun.
I'll move back now.
No. My pants are tight. What? The thing, so the clip that I posted 2 days ago was Bob
That was me.
Playing
Indeed,
through
Actually,
London.
Playing this guitar through the London.
Oh, this is actually mine.
Oh, this is yours?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
brought,
Without my glasses, I'm...
yeah.
Well, that's
but
a beauty. I'll have to check that out.
You can even play it again if you want. I got really low output pickups in here, so it feels a lot different. But
now it really looks like got the three of us kind of on.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we
really,
are. Yeah.
Okay, who brought the beer and chips?
I was gonna say, we seem to be
Beer and
lacking.
chip, we'll order.
We're lacking libations.
We need
Okay.
cerveza.
We need craft services.
Craft
man.
service.
You know, we could turn this into like one of those Foster Brooks roast Dean Martin things. You know, where Foster Brooks would come in trash. Anyway, that's a whole.
No, we could have like a real catering thing. You know?
Oh yeah.
And Dandy Don next door, he could bring in ice cream and stuff like that. Have a cart, and they got pretty girls.
We're like
and
dripping
stuff like
shit
that.
all over
Yeah,
the guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, when they drizzle the chocolate syrup on. Yeah, of course.
He put one of his little carts with his face on it behind there.
He'll pay us?
He'd pay us.
I was going to say there's food companies in this complex, so
That's
we can
right, we
say,
can-
hey man, well, it's like 80,000 people a
Right, we
week
get-
watch this. You know,
We're
so.
endorsed by Dandy Don's Ice Cream.
That's
and
right.
various sundry others.
There's a porn company.
Lunch with
across
Dan
the
Boul.
way.
Yeah, right. Lunch,
We could get some girls, and then we could do
Lunch with Dan Boul, brought to you by Vivid. Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Because I was saying there's no there's lunch with Dan Boul, but we're lunchless at the moment.
I thought he was buying lunch after that. I thought that's what he meant.
That might work.
I just-
Yeah, maybe we can
So
do
no
that.
lunch. I guess I'm out of here. Okay.
What? No lunch?
Kulik.
Promised me a sandwich.
More
I'm out.
beans, Mr. Taggart.
You boys have had enough.
I'd say you boys have had enough.
Why
Actually-
don't we give him the mango?
Yeah. Oh, see, we're all Mel Brooks fans here too, so it's
Absolutely.
gonna fly.
it's gonna work.
It's gonna fly. That's right.
Oh, that's
So I was running late today. You know, I was trying to get here by 10:15, and Brett was kind enough to get here on time, and I'm running late, and I'm texting him like, I had to run back into town and get a shitload of dimes.
Yeah.
For the Main Highway. Exactly.
What did that asshole do now?
What did that asshole
I
think?
passed that on the way here. I got off the exit before, fortunately for me.
Right.
I didn't have to pay the toll.
Lepetamine Thruway.
Yeah.
That's
So tell us about this guitar.
It's an interesting. It's actually.
So this guitar I got from Gibson, basically just as a piece of wood.
Uh-huh.
And my wife actually helped get this together for my 40th birthday.
Ah, so it was a pseudo present.
Great top.
Yeah.
So
Very cool
I
top.
went to the Gibson Custom Shop. Our very first NAMM show was the summer of 2004 in Nash Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And it was great. So like the Allman Brothers were opening up for Peter Frampton, and the Allman Brothers come out and they're all playing Strats. I was like, these rednecks are funny. You know, like that's I know funny. These rednecks are funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
And Henry was just,
Somebody must have given them a shitload of dimes.
yeah, that's right, exactly. And so Henry was not happy. But anyway, so I knew the custom shop guys, you know, and I went back in the shop and and I'm like, man, how do I just get a body? And they're like, well, we'll make you a great guitar. I said, I know, but look, here, I got to be honest with you. Here's what I do with every Gibson I buy.
Mm-hmm.
I take the pickups out, replace them. I take the bridge off, I replace it. I take the pots out, I replace them. I take the nut off, I replace it. I take the tuning keys off, and I replace them. And then I go get the neck.
Cars too.
And then I get the neck. Then I get the neck plecked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like,
Wow.
why do you do that?
So you really
Well, I
customize.
just because I'm a nerd, you know.
Yeah, you customize.
Who does the plecking for you?
There's a guy here in town that used to do it, Rodney
Plecker.
Pleck guy. He's in Santa Monica. And it makes a big difference, you know. And so they're showing, oh, check out this body. And all I had was stain on it. There was no hardware. I just had stain. Check out this body. Check out this body. Check out that body. So can I just buy the body? And they're like, no, we can't do that. I'm getting somebody. I don't think he works anymore, so it's okay. But
Cool.
And
Because he sold you the body.
Yeah. And so somehow he worked it out, and I just bought the body. And I've gone through a lot of pickups. These are pickups by Ron Ellis, who's literally a physicist who's in San Diego. And I think he makes the most insane humbuckers and single coils. And then I had a guy here in town, I won't say his name because this is illegal what he does, but shoots real nitro on it without the poly sealer in between it. And so this guitar's like 10 years old, and it still looks great. But he put 11 coats of real nitro on it with no poly sealer. You can feel it. I mean, it just feels like you can tell there's no poly in there at all.
The poly's much harder.
But feel how light this is. I mean, like you can go and play.
Oh yeah, this is really like a toothpick.
Stuff. And it's not chambered.
Wow. No, so it's not chambered.
Yeah, it's just a good piece of wood.
Yeah, really.
And
well, he did a really nice job on it, though.
It had the yellow stain on it, and I think they're going to turn it into a 3-color sunburst. And I just liked it the way it was.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, very cool.
And
so how do these pickups compare to what you know?
It's horribly out of tune, but
I noticed.
Yeah. People pay extra for that. I just want.
Oh yeah. If you want them in tune, yeah.
It's all. It's my G and my B are just.
They're unhappy.
Yeah.
Well, the G string is classically unhappy.
Yeah, that's what G for Gibson. Yeah, it's.
I would always ignore the G string.
And I give them a hard time on the show too, because I always when I'm tuning it up, and I'm like, "Damn you, Gibson! Why can't you make a guitar that isn't tuned?" Paul Reed Smith does it, and they love that when I say that.
I think it's in tune now.
They just don't sound like anything.
Oh, okay.
They don't sound like Gibson.
Yeah.
I can only play with one of my own personal picks.
Oh, a Bob Kulick pick?
Well, no, it's just Dunlap 73.
So let's see, what were you doing?
Oh boy. You sure you got enough games?
Something.
You figured it out.
Let me tune this up, because I want people to hear you play instead of me, because I'm just a hack. You're a guitar player.
I wouldn't say you're a hack.
I'm a guitar owner. You're a guitar player.
Well, you play some really good stuff too.
Bob's generous. He has to say that because it's my show.
The lunchless with Dan Boul.
Losing your lunch with Dan Boul.
Lunchless. Losing your lunch. Because I'm sitting on, God, what time's I'm starving over here.
We're cutting into our lunch hour here, Dan. What's up with that?
Damn it. We'll order food. I can do that for rent. I'll bring food every week.
There we go.
One of the compilation records we did, Angelo from Fishbone showed up, and he actually brought his lunch with him, this huge plate of food.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
tin foil wrapped over it.
It's unbelievable.
And
it's hilarious.
And professional napkins.
It didn't
and
smell bad,
thing,
but it just it permeated.
Yeah.
The whole, like when he walked, it was just like, whoa, and he's like, yeah, man, my mama made my lunch before I go. She told me to take it with me. That's cool, right?
We couldn't believe it was this huge plate.
He's like, cool.
Huge plate of food.
Yeah.
And
So
we
he sat down, and he's like, yeah, y'all want some? Like, no, you go ahead and that's some damn home cooking right there.
And he proceeded to sing his butt off.
So we got guys from like 7 or 8 countries on here right now.
Hi, everybody.
So this gentleman Lodvar, I believe, is in Norway, saying hello to you, and there's some other.
Norway, I got strip searched there once at the airport. Very nice.
Nice strip search.
Down to my shorts.
Oh, okay. That's stripped enough. But, I don't have it cleaned up a whole lot. That's the thing. But those pickups in there are probably a lot more than yours too. This is my soft mix ball, my clean tiny.
I like it.
That's a cool version.
But it needs a set of strings, and I think that needs some love. I tend to destroy Gibson nuts.
I try not to pick on the nuts.
Yeah.
I'm mainly into the bolts. You know?
Yeah. So I said to my wife. No, I mean, I play with heavier strings and I use a heavy pick.
What are these? Are these 9s or 10s?
Those are 10 to 52s, and I just tend to rip the nut apart on Gibson guitar. It's just set up really well, so you can play the heavy strings and they don't feel too bad. Muy nice. And then I know you do some work with ESP too, right? You have some.
Yeah, I have an endorsement deal with them. They make really fine
Yeah.
crafted instruments. You know,
So if
obviously.
you want to grab one and play
yeah,
it, we can happily show off your stuff. I have no allegiance here unless someone pays me. So.
Well, as a producer, you know, the label, the company understands that.
Yeah.
I play whatever
right.
is necessary, be it a Fender
That's
Strat
right.
or a Gibson Les Paul or whatever
That's
it is.
right.
You know,
I endorse Dr. Pepper, but I drink other things. Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like an amp. I mean, you never,
Yeah.
you're never just going to use one
Right.
one
One size
brand
doesn't
one
fit all.
brand of amp.
That's
It's
right.
never going to, even in you know, even an amp company that makes a lot of different models that are different, you know, voicings, it's still gonna have the stamp of that what that company does.
That's right.
I mean, of course, it goes without saying. Obviously, you know, like you said, one size doesn't fit all. Not every record could sound the same. But I mean, I'll tell you, between 65 and like high octane Wizards, I don't know. You definitely don't really need to turn.
So
you don't need to turn to much else.
We're getting guys telling us that they're having a hard time hearing our voice at the same time we're playing.
I could get more gain out of that.
Yeah,
okay.
we probably and then man, do you know how to do the shock mounts on these, Bob?
I failed at shock mounts.
What is the deal with these things?
I just opened the mic up.
I was really good at changing strings. That was one of my good things.
Oh my
Changing strings was
God!
best of them. But
It's
shock
just
mounts,
it's.
Yeah, we need to really.
I have to go take a class at adult education or something.
It's an extension program.
Yeah, maybe in the future we might have to set up a couple of mics and little.
We can do that.
we can wear our own mics.
Yeah, do you have labs?
No, but we
Yeah.
can.
I can get them.
Yeah, it's easy to get.
Because usually when I'm doing the show at my desk by myself, I have this really close, so I don't have to turn it up.
Right, makes
so
sense.
we don't get much of that.
Yeah,
in there.
it makes sense.
But so sorry guys, this is the first show. We'll get it right.
I opened the mic up more though.
He was saying we could. One guy saying we might want to try to turn the guitar down in the mix.
Sure.
And just drop it down 10, 15%
I can stop
or
playing
something.
when we're talking, stuff like that.
So that's coming in.
Just hold it
Yeah,
like
this is the
Rebecca
beauty,
did.
you know, this.
It's kind of one of my little workhorses. And it's not holding tune at all. I apologize for that. Maybe we could play your Les Paul if you want. You got a very fine R9.
That's any better.
Is that better? Can you hear us talk over the
better?
guitar? I love this. One of the guy's wife, Andre Mack, is I think here in Massachusetts, right? And he said his wife was watching on the laptop, and his wife chimes in here, a guitarist turning down?
I was going to say it's not allowed.
Do you know how to make a guitarist turn down, though, right? Put sheet music in front of him.
Wow.
Nice.
I thought the drummer would appreciate that.
That is a good one.
Nice.
Since drummers are the butts of all.
That is a good joke.
Yeah. That's the only guitar player joke I know.
It's a good one.
Yeah. It's
As
kind of
opposed to what do you call a guitar player without a girlfriend? Homeless.
Homeless. All right. Well, those apply to drummers and bass players.
Can be multi-use.
The only other guitar player. Okay, fair warning. There's going to be cuss words on this. So if you're
I have a couple times, but I've kept
okay.
it to a minute.
Well,
I
it's
said the
because
poopy word once.
I know that
so far.
I know there's ladies on here. So
Ladies?
what does a stripper do with her asshole before she goes to work?
Good.
Drops him off at band practice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah, how true is that, though? I mean, that maybe is applied to all of us at one point in our lives.
Yeah.
Hey, I
sure.
could tell them the Seattle story. All right.
Yeah, man. Anita Farragher says, "Oh my."
Is the blend better? Can anyone confirm or deny the
Confirm or deny.
blend?
We'll go get.
'Cause
us some more
I got the
dimes.
mic. I got the mic pretty hot.
Okay.
It's hitting it. I can see
We'll
it.
have to figure it out. It's okay. We're doing
Yeah.
okay right now.
Okay.
For the first show, I wanted everyone to kind of get to know you guys, get to know the
Right, yeah.
room.
Yeah.
We're having dirty joke time,
Gotta have dirty joke time.
Exactly.
and I think as men, we have a certain amount of vulgarity we have to expunge from our brains every day. Otherwise, we don't have the capability to be a gentleman
Yeah.
for the rest of the day.
You have to get rid of that energy.
Yes.
You know, Sure.
Part of being a musician is, being a vulgarian, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's part of the reason we all. Anyway,
Yeah.
philosophy with Dan Boul, Bob, and Brad.
So if you're good at vulgarity, you already have a head start on being a musician.
Yeah. Now type in your favorite dirty jokes right now. Because the thing about the recording is the chat window doesn't show up in the recording, so you can type whatever you want. And if we choose to repeat it on the air, that's it's ours.
Excuse me while I.
Oh, now they're saying the guitar's too quiet.
Too quiet. Oh, we'll just have to turn up.
I think we're being
certainly
toyed with, really.
Yeah.
Dude, you ever seen Walk Hard?
Yes.
More blankets.
Yeah.
Less blankets.
You ever see? Who's that English stand-up comedian Eddie Izzard?
Yeah.
He does this bit about when the Druids built Stonehenge, and he was imagining the designer, was a gay dude going, no, I like this rock over here. And they set it all up, and he's like, no, let's take this one and move it on. No, put it back. That was better. And the Druids are all going, fuck.
That's funny. So cold.
It's not the Spinal Tap Stonehenge, though.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We had that. I don't know I'll show you a picture of that. That Spinal Tap Stonehenge, my friend Jim Elliott has at his prop house in North Hollywood.
Oh, it's actually
really?
Yeah, history for hire.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
And,
history for hire.
Does he rent it out for proms and stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah. So we were setting up one of our old NAMM booths, and I wanted to set it up total Carnaby Street, 60s Britain thing, because that's our vibe. And and I saw the thing like, Jim, I got to take Stonehenge. And we took it and we put it over the door on our NAMM booth.
How big actually is it?
It's this big.
Yeah,
and it's the actual prop.
It's the one from the movie.
That's so cool.
And I won 6 awards for best booth, say that 3 times, best booth decoration. Magazines, the NAMM counts.
Cool.
He was in Stonehenge Weekly.
Yeah. Exactly.
We should totally rent the Stonehenge prop for the show.
Yeah.
Where we have metal bands that are really bad.
I can bring it over though. We'll just
that
set
rock.
it right here.
What else does he have? History for hire.
Man, every music movie you've seen in the past 20 years, everything came.
Really?
I'll just take you guys over there and give you a tour. It's fantastic.
We should check that. We should check it out.
I mean, any period, Hendrix and every movie, you're talking about Walk Hard, that was all Jim stuff.
Wow,
Really?
that's hilarious. I was telling Brett when I worked with Meatloaf when we recorded at Abbey Road.
Uh-huh.
We'd be,
I recorded Abbey Road last week. Yeah.
There we'd be bored, wandering around looking behind the curtains and stuff like that. And we actually found the Mellotron that they used.
Yeah.
The tack piano
Have
that
you
the
seen-
Beatles used. They were just sitting there in the corner, pushed off to the side.
Have you seen those? Can I turn this just a hair?
Sure.
I want to make sure we get Bob.
Whose hair is that?
Yeah.
One of mine.
So, have you seen those clips? McCartney goes back there. He's got 3 or 4 spies at Abbey Road, and every time they're getting ready to sell something, they call him first. He's bought everything the Beatles recorded with.
Yeah,
he has them at out on his farm.
Yeah.
When they were doing the Real Love and all that stuff, they were playing on all that old Beatles gear and recording with old Beatles mics, and he's even got the big giant consoles with the huge knobs.
Those huge knobs from the
EMI
original 2-track or 4-track, whatever it was at the time.
He just and all their microphones, because they just retire stuff. If no one uses it, some accountant says, sell that crap off.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They just pushed it off to the side in the back area where they got miscellaneous instruments and stuff like that. Somebody needs a Mellotron. See if you can find this one. And they're rooting around in the back looking for it. We got the one the Beatles used.
I got that patch on my computer.
The best was though the guy that was the night watchman at night. They had somebody by the door there. And we'd go out. Some of the guys would smoke a cigarette, or we'd go hang out. Just
I like the way you said that. I smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, exactly. We went out there to smoke a cigarette. And the guy would be like, I remember the night Ringo came out. And it was always this thing. I remember John saying once.
Right.
All of a sudden, everybody would be really quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to this story from somebody who actually knew them and hung out with them at the studio.
That stuff is just toxic. I had the incredible good fortune. Let's get so we can all get in here because I keep going out. I had the incredible good fortune of hanging out and talking with Jeff Emmerich.
Yeah.
And he, Rick Nielsen uses our stuff for their pepper shows when they do their Vegas pepper thing, and then they did the celebration here at the Hollywood Bowl, and they were doing rehearsals at Center Staging. And I walked in and I go, wow, that looks like Jeff Emmerich. And the guys go, oh yeah, that's Jeff. You want to talk to him? I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Yeah. And I just got through reading his book, here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, great.
And there's amazing detail in there.
Yeah.
And I think I actually wore him out with questions, because after a while, he was really generous and was talking and everything. And he was telling all those stories, like one time us and the cow and the sheep and the black hooker. It was like just everything, right?
Black hooker.
And,
I don't think I heard that one.
Yeah, it's a little written about the story. But anyway, and I think I wore him out, and he's like, "Oh, do you live close to here?" And I went, "Yeah, just over in Valley Village." He goes, "Go get your book." I'm like, "Fuck off!" Yeah, he wrote me this really nice thing in the front of the book, but. Yeah, he tells those stories. It's just like you're saying. I mean, there's Cheap Trick rehearsing and label guys and investors and engineers. And he goes, And one time, John,
Yeah,
you just hear crickets. Like the entire room stops playing, and we're all just like praying at the altar of these guys.
A revelation.
Yeah, it's like one time when I was with Jesus.
Did you see the Pepper Show?
I did. I went to the Hollywood Bowl.
And now I went to the Vegas one.
Mm-hmm.
The last night that they did it was at Paris.
Yeah.
Out in Vegas, and they. Bob and I've worked with Robin quite a bit, so Robin took care of us, and we had great seats. And then I'm just a bit up from the soundboard, not far, and I kind of looked back and was like, holy shit, that's Jeff Emmerich.
Jeff Emmerich,
and he was like right behind me, and I didn't know whether to like watch Jeff like mix the show or to like watch the show. It was it was hard. I was like, that's cool. Wow, Jeff Emmerich.
It was one of those moments.
Wow, they're playing Fixing a Hole. Wow, he's mixing. I mean, it was
Emmerich's mixing the show.
Oh man, it was freaking cool.
And that's how we got in
there. And
I
talked to him after for about a half hour, and he was
he's very generous with the information.
Very, very, very cool.
Well, it is part of history.
Yeah.
And I think he acknowledges that and understands that.
He's got a duty
the
to
interest
share
level in this is not like not like I'm snitching on somebody or telling something that anybody could ever do.
Yeah.
Oh, once I learned that trick, I sounded just like them.
Yeah, right.
No, you didn't.
No.
It's just not possible.
Yeah, how many guys have tried the
on
reverse?
History. It's like,
because
the guy who was at the Alamo. I watched when they fired the cannon. They killed 10 guys with one shot,
None of it really matters. I mean, all the tricks that they did doesn't really matter. You try it in any other context.
It's the guy.
It's not going to work. It's going to have a completely different outcome.
Yeah.
So, the techniques and all of it all had to go with the music dictated what they did.
I was thinking about this morning, how far it's all come since that period of time where it all had it was almost like a mystical experience. You go to the studio, and then somehow all of a sudden it was all mic'd, and then it sounded the best it ever sounded.
Right.
And you were in this huge room playing, and it was like a whole thing.
Right.
Now that mystique seems like it's gone because
it's all in this box.
Correct. Most people feel, I got my studio in my house.
Yeah. Here, let me open it up for you.
Yeah. No. Let me open the closet door. Look.
Look at my Mac. Yeah.
Is awesome. The whole band in there? It's like Men in Black. They're all in there, or what are we? They're all in that locker, really?
Men in Black. Hello, mate.
Remember, all hail.
Yeah, right.
Close the door. Okay.
Right. Can I use a loo?
So many things being plug-in.
Yeah.
Bass, amp simulators inside the computer.
Yeah, they never had anything like that, and
drum machine programs that look, they sound good. Yeah.
Andre Mac Touche again. He says, "I hope Stonehenge does not have a shock mount."
That's good.
Yeah.
But
if it needs string changing, I can handle it.
If it was just like one part of the shock that was weird, but I mean, dude, that thing is like in purgatory, man.
Oh yeah.
That thing, it's like, whoa, dude.
Well,
so you're immediately drawn to the.
We'll hire a consultant to come in here and fix
shock
this.
And
then
we'll take it down to the shock mounts are us.
Right, shock mounts are us.
There's come to think of it, there's the shock mount district downtown.
Then we got the shock, and we immediately moved to shock mount blues.
Oh yeah. Well, I woke up this morning, tried to put together my mic. I woke up this morning, got mad at my mic. Yeah, man.
Now, what if we could hire someone from in front of the Home Depot to hold it?
Hello. I didn't say that.
What? I just said there's plenty of workers that need a gig.
Office Studio is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, I didn't go there, dude.
That was funny. I know funny. That was
when
funny.
I played guitar with LaBelle,
and
I was the only white person in the band.
Must have been a fantastic gig.
Oh, it was a great. Well,
no, I've done a couple of those gigs where it's like
singers Patti LaBelle is like the top of the food chain singers, and I work with some great black singers like Diana Ross.
Who?
Exactly. But
that's that Michael Jackson chick.
Yeah, right. The Michael Jackson chick. The one he wanted to look like. Oh.
The one anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Patti LaBelle at the Apollo Theater actually said that LaBelle is an equal opportunity employer.
That's fantastic.
And
it points to Bob.
The only white person in the whole building.
Man, that must have been awesome. awesome.
It was great.
I've been in a handful of those situations, and I got to tell you, I was always just thrilled. Like, oh my God, because not to go off on a philosophical rant, but like, I'm a rock and roller.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, and that's black music.
Yeah.
It's black music, and so inherent in that description is I worship black musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about like, you get geeked out when you meet a few people. I met McCartney. I kind of was at a loss for words, but I was okay. I've met a lot of people. I met Little Richard once. I couldn't talk.
Yeah, there are some people where you don't know what to say.
I like bread. I hadn't, look at my legs. I don't know, and so I've been in those situations where I'm where I'm the only honky in the room. And I'm just like goosebumpy and thrilled. Like, this is it. I'm playing rock and roll. Yeah. And it's such a fantastic thing. I know what you're talking about. That must have been amazing.
Well, in this case, it was. I
heard Patty's really sweet too.
Oh yeah, she's Nona Hendricks and Sarah Dash.
Like she's your mother.
LaBelle.
You got everything you need, baby.
Great. She was great. And like I said, top of the food chain singer without question.
Yeah.
I was fortunate because part of my learning curve process was to play in bar bands, which I did. Top 40 bands. Yeah. And so all of the R&B tunes that were popular of the day, we were forced to learn. Sure. So when it came time to play major seventh chords and raised 9 chords and a G with A in the bass and all of this stuff, they sat down some charts at the audition for me, and I was able to easily navigate my way through there and still play the rock stuff, which is what they were looking for. Somebody who could play, Right.
And groove a little bit.
Those chords, and so I was able to play that and also do the.
Yeah, right.
So I got the gig.
Right.
But the big ticket item was my ability to play the R&B stuff, which to this day, I have a partner who can play R&B and jazz and blues, and there's almost nothing that we can't handle. Last year we did Broadway show tunes, and we were like, oh my God, we're playing Broadway show tunes.
We can throw down the funk, man. We can't throw down.
What was that Bernard Purdie quote you gave me the other day? That was hilarious.
Oh man. Well,
you got to do the impression.
He does a great Bernard Purdie.
Bernard Purdie. When I did drum clinics in Germany with Bernard, and we'd sit down. He goes, I gotta give my impression of Brett doing one of his clinics, man. He goes, now here's Brett. He goes, he goes, it's unbelievable. You give the white boy 2 bars, he put 1,000,000 notes in it. It's great. He goes, now I got to tell you, son. He goes, now that, what you're doing, it's real impressive, man. He goes, I am impressed. He goes, not a lot of brothers' hands could move that quick. But what I really like is when you settle down into your patterns, He goes, and I say to myself, man, the white boy's got some shit. When you settle in, your back beating, it's gotta. He goes, so man, let me tell you, just why don't you just concentrate on making the pocket big and fat, so that people can come stick money in.
So those are wise words from somebody who made some money as a session guy.
Because son, ain't nobody gonna pay you any money to do all that. You ain't gonna make no money, son.
And bands that come in here, isn't it always the reality where the lead guitar player sits down and he's just shredding out, and we're all it's time for the song. It's just like that's the E chord inversion you're playing.
Right?
Is that an E chord? Is that what you call that? Somebody who learned to shred out, but has no concept of rhythm guitar or the fundamentals of what it is and where all that comes from.
And the interesting thing about coming from a drummer's,
which is 95% of the song.
95% of what I do is rhythm guitar.
Coming from a rhythmic standpoint, 95% of what you're going to do is rhythms.
Jack.
And drummers are the same way. You go to the NAMM show.
Oh yeah.
And
trade show shredders.
Somebody's doing paradiddles. You're like,
everyone sits down. You see drummers, they sit down, and the very first thing they do is how is how many notes they could pull up. Very, very. It's like you see it time after time after time.
I think they're just indicative of.
And when you, I guess. I mean, when you
when you're in public, I have to show off.
You know, we were talking about this recently. The guys who really made magic on the drums were not really guys that had a lot of fast hands and fast chops. You know?
Primarily true.
I mean, the guys you really thought about that made magic on the drums really didn't play a lot of notes.
Yeah. No.
You know, Bernard Purdy.
Yeah.
Like on Steely Dan stuff. Jeff Porcaro.
Right.
Newmark and all of them.
Andy Newmark. Right. Steve Gadd on 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And
it's all about groove. And
that was all about, you know.
And even Ringo Starr. Boom, jap, boom, boom, ga-doom.
This is the stuff that people remember.
Right. That's all you hear, and you're like, oh my God, listen to that.
And even when John Bonham just played Kashmir, man, people were
exactly
you're hypnotized by
the groove.
By that. You know, really, any drummers that just played a whole shitload of notes, you know, it was
Earl Palmer or somebody saying.
Earl Palmer was a monster player, and used to play at Chadney's over there, which is now something else.
Oh, in Burbank. Yeah, it's like a Mexican bar. Or
yeah, imagine that. Yeah. He used to play there every week, Earl Palmer. Yeah. I mean, these guys, man, Earl Palmer, James Jamerson, you know, guys that were in the Snake Pit. These guys made magic on the instrument. I mean, think about James Jamerson playing What's Going On his back.
Yeah, it's totally hilarious.
Someone holding up the sheet music and him just looking at because he's so drunk.
And guys that learned, and guys that knew how to use space, and dynamics.
Yes, that's right.
In the making of what it is that they did, they learned how to play with both of those things in mind. And sometimes it was what you left out.
Yes.
That was as important as what you played.
Absolutely.
And the dynamic of how you played it. You know, that's why those live recordings always stand up, because it was a magical performance that was captured rather than something that was pieced together and polished every inch of the way.
Well, it's like any art form. You know, if you were a painter and, you know, you want to do something in blue and every square inch of the canvas was blue, the blue would mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be gaps in it.
I mean,
there's got to be a hole in it so that you can appreciate the blue.
Even as just coming from a musical point of view, I mean, if you were to take, you know, Eddie Van Halen as fast as he was in the firepower that he did.
But he used it judiciously.
He wrote amazing riffs.
Correct.
That were simple. There's nothing too difficult about them.
Right.
Wrote great riffs and great rhythms that became hit songs. Hence how he became this monster star. If he had only had that, most people wouldn't have ever heard of him, because he wouldn't have been in a big band with big hit songs based off of these great rhythms that he wrote.
Your average person will sing you Running with the Devil, but they couldn't sing you the guitar solo or anything like that.
It's all about that simple riff.
We always laugh when the guitar players in the bands are stressing out about every inch of the solo, when really this is just a middle eight. It's more about the song. Spend more time on the lyrics and the song.
The purpose of the guitar solo is to let the singer take a breather.
Totally.
Yeah.
Take a drink,
and you do something interesting enough that people don't go, I'm going to go get a hot dog.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade.
No one really walks down the street, for the most part, singing the guitar solo.
Right.
There's ones here or there that you know every note.
There's a couple of Hendrix solos we can all sing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. But your average punter, chances are the average person is going to remember.
But look at
the devil.
Look at Zeppelin. Most people don't even know the names of those songs, but you know the one that goes down, down, da da down.
Right.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I love that one. What's that called? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
You know.
The Ocean.
No, I know, but I mean, if you're sitting around, you know, it's
that is a good one though, as I recall. Yeah.
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 Or he's feathering the rifle.
Yeah, that was a really, I always liked that riff.
Oh yeah.
They were great at coming up with, again, the way Bonham played to what Jimmy Page had come up with, or vice versa. I don't know if he came up with the drum beat first and Page just jumped on board.
I hear a riff
slightly left of center. Right. I'm not exactly sure, but you know,
I think it happened both ways.
Probably so. Play that again,
right?
You know, and then all of a sudden he hopped on board with the riff. It's certainly possible, you know.
Rob Stefanian says he sings Yngwie solos here, so.
You know, look.
Which one?
There's always an exception.
Yeah.
Those are the turkey solos.
Have you guys? I'll have to show you. I should put it up here on the show. There's this video It's like one of these Yngwie instruction videos, and it's Yngwie and a bass player and a drum machine. And he goes, okay, today we're going to play a little blues. And he puts his drum machine on. It's just got this greasy ass shuffle. I mean, it's just like really laid back. The bass player starts going boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden he goes, and it's just like every blues lick ever recorded on Earth in 30 seconds.
Now, have you ever seen the stuff?
And they're known for no perfect, but it's just like someone just took the tape machine and cranked,
Have you ever seen the stuff on YouTube of the guy who superimposes like these horrid...
Oh, yeah, shredding, yeah.
That
we saw a Jakey Lee one.
All right, wait. I got it. So I got a funny story with that.
The Clapton shredding one is the one where you
this shows you just how people.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It shows you just how crazy musicians could be. When Bob and I were doing we were producing the Lynch Mob record.
Mm-hmm. Lynch Mob record produced by these guys.
And we were recording. We were doing solos that day with Lynch, and. I played him. I'm like, dude, you gotta see this. This is when this just got really hot. And it was like the Jakey Lee one of like, it's like, horrible.
Jakey was, on his knee making that face, and what was coming out was so insipidly bad.
And Ozzy, you keep hearing that.
You know what I love?
And then, but check it out. And George he's laughing his head. We're all on the floor. Then I play him the Steve Vai one, and that's even fun. He's laughing. He's cracking up. So then we get to work. And about 5 minutes in, he's getting really fucking pissed off. He's going, you have to fucking play me those shredder things, man. Now I can't fucking play. He was serious. He was deadly. He's like, dude, that really messed up my head, man.
You screwed up.
Now now I'm playing all that.
Yeah, because he kept saying, I wonder if somebody's going to do that to me. There I am shredding out.
Oh, I think it's an honor.
I say, dude, it's probably already been done.
Let's YouTube it.
But he's like, I can't play.
No, but the thing that I love about those videos the most is wherever the camera goes, that's the instrument you hear.
Oh yeah.
You see a guitar song and they took the drum and you hear
the attention to detail.
And the bass player,
much like the Hitler bunker scene where they superimpose him talking about Kiss.
Right.
Not even the original band.
Have you seen Kiss Meets the Führer with Hitler? That's hilarious.
That is really, really, really funny.
There's all of them.
Because it's not the original band,
Tommy Steyer. Anybody can take a glorified tour manager and put them in
and he's crying, he's pulling his hair out, shaking his head,
Oh, yeah.
Everyone but Kiss Army members, please leave the room.
I like when he's sitting, he goes, costume look great.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen done with one of those kind of scenes.
That was great.
Oh, I got a couple of guys asking, like, real questions here. I should look
at. Do I shave stuff like that? You mean?
Yeah, it's hard to reach everything. But
that's good.
You don't get hair like this and it stops at your head. That's all I'm saying. I've got some ivy creeping up the back steps.
Oh.
Anyway, well, that cleared the room, didn't it?
Here's lunch.
Yeah. You guys need to have a little playlist of your songs you're going to play for us on the next show. Well, we'll sort that out. Definitely. Good idea.
We need a playlist,
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even just wing it.
It's a suggestion.
Well noted. Okay.
Well, the thing is, with this rig here, we can actually
do full bands.
We can do whatever we want.
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We could do full bands because it all gets summed down through the console.
So if you guys are working with some cool artists,
we could do like a whole.
I mean, if we had like Billy Gibbons and
the guys that hang out here,
and Dave Grohl,
Dave Grohl, and he lives just like right over here.
He's right in the scene.
Yeah.
Then they could be on this thing too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's something we should talk about offline because I have an idea for
over lunch.
Yeah, I've got to be in North Hollywood by 3. So other than that, and we should probably go.
Be me and you.
No, we could wrap it up here shortly and go get a quick sandwich or something.
Whatever. We're just kidding,
No.
But seriously,
yeah, I know.
We're just kidding. But seriously, we're just kidding.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Any questions out there?
Okay, so where was the guy? Oh, one guy says, massive fan and Soho owner here. When is a good time to ask a mod-related question? I wouldn't really mod that amp, but maybe we should talk about that offline. Yes.
What would you want to mod a Soho for? Thing sounds perfect.
Yes, we have one here
Great
too, which we can play.
It's a fantastic.
And we didn't play a whole lot of guitar this week. I really want you guys to get to know Brett and Bob and Brett, and Ishmael, you have the old Master Volume 1. If you want to put the Master Voltage in, we can do that at the shop for you. It's like $275.
$275. Good
That's right.
Lord.
That's more than I. That's more than I paid for my. Oh, you live in London. Okay.
Make that pounds.
Bob is on today. He's on.
I love these guys. I love these guys. I saw that. I looked up yesterday while I was in the middle of, I was in a conference call, which I was on mute most of the time, and I looked up the video of you being interviewed. And if you're comfortable telling the story on the show, maybe sometime in the future,
but too embarrassing.
No, it was fantastic. And it was basically, I don't want to destroy the punchline, but I'll give it away, so that you were being asked about when you cut the Ace Frehley solos.
Yeah.
And I've heard you tell me the story, and you told a very nice, diplomatic, politically correct version of the story in this interview, which was fantastic, but it was really funny the way you did it. Obviously, you can tell Bob's got a pretty quick sense of humor. And the end of the story was Ace came by and said, "So how did I sound?" And then what did you say?
Well, you know, it's like
the shot, Bob.
Oh yeah, come on over.
Sorry. You know, so when Kiss were doing the Kiss Alive 2 album, you know, this is where some of the problems started with Peter and Ace.
Yeah.
And you know, the band was kind of having its Beatles moment, shall we
They're
say,
having
where
growing
members
pains,
were, you know, thinking about leaving, and other members were thinking about replacements and all of this, you know. So, you know, they had a deadline for this, you know, Kiss Alive 2 thing, and I was the band's friend, and so Paul called me and asked me to, you know, would you come down and put a couple of solos on a few of the songs that is studio side of our Kiss Alive 2 thing.
Sure.
You know, so I immediately asked, you know, so what happened to Ace? You know, it's just like, well, he's you know, he's acting up. He's giving us a hard time. So
you can't do it right.
Read between the lines.
Yeah,
you can't play. Show up at Electric Lady Studios, you know, and Eddie Kramer's engineering, and I'm feeling really comfortable. Here's the guy that did, you know, Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles.
It's Hendrix's room, right? Yeah.
The highest quality.
Yeah, you're in one of the shrines of our business.
You know, I walk in through the lounge, and Ace is there. There he is. He's sitting in the lounge, lying on the floor, watching TV. You know, hey, Curly, how's it going? You know, like, great, how you doing? You know, so I go in. You know, we played for a few hours. You know, Larger Than Life, All American Man, the songs that I wound up playing the solos on.
I mean, you guys all know All American Man, right? I mean, it's one of the classic, Kiss tunes, right?
So anyway, as fate would have it, of course,
song.
It's a very good song.
That's a good
song. That was the one that Paul said.
I know it.
Larger Than Life was
a
genius.
lovely song.
So, as fate would have it, of course, you know, I stick my head in to say goodbye to Ace, you know, trying to be politically correct.
Yeah, you're being a gentleman.
Just
right,
like,
yeah.
So I'm heading out, I'll see you later. So, of course, you know, hey, so how did I play? You know, so I had to say it, you know, it was the best you ever played. You know, what else could I say? It never sounded better. You know, had to give him a little bit of shtick, you know.
It was so funny. I saw you telling that story on some interview.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, and then like the crowd's just roaring when you tell that, and then you go, "No, seriously."
Right, exactly.
True story.
That's really what happened.
You know, so
that was fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great now because you know there've been Kiss conventions. Or I've done a couple of these shows where it's a Kiss tribute band, so I've gotten up and played these songs that I actually did the solos on the records.
They were your songs.
You know, and everybody's like, "It is him. It is this guy."
I'll be damned.
You know,
right.
Yeah, right. You know, people. You know, even the band saying to me, "I grew up thinking that this was Ace Frehley, and now it's you." And gee, I hear you are playing it.
Well, I saw the video of you doing that, and you gave away like one of those like guitar player secrets that for some reason.
Oh yeah, it's a big secret.
99 out of 100 guitar players never figure out how to do this, and you show it so clearly, and it's one of those moments where even I went, "Oh, of course."
Yeah.
Like when you grab behind the string and wiggle it around.
The little wing here.
Yeah, and it's just sort of like, duh.
I had to whip out every trick.
Forest for the trees. You know, you don't see it.
Yeah, you know, this is an easy trick.
Yeah, I used to always do it behind the nut and could never get it right.
Sure.
And, you know, anyway, we'll talk a lot.
I got to be honest, I stole that from Dick Wagner.
Oh,
It was
really?
a Dick Wagner trick.
Wow.
Yeah, the guy that played guitar with Alice Cooper and Lou Reed.
Oh, cool.
You know, and one of my mentors, somebody who I looked at as Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck, a guitar player.
Yeah.
May not have, in the scheme of things, appeared to be as good as those guys, but in reality, was as good as those guys. In his own way.
And he had
writer. Yeah, this was the guy that wrote Only Women Bleed and some of those songs. I mean, the guy was a fantastic
he had a point of view
on me.
He had it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he exuded music. This is somebody who, when you looked at this person, you knew that you were dealing with somebody, especially had an aura about
And then you got to wonder, like, who Dick was inspired by to do that, and then so on. I used to do this thing when I was in college. I mean, I took a lot of music history, and I come from this really musical family I'll tell you about later, but like my family runs the International Ragtime Foundation. So there's Scott Joplin, you know, like all the piano stuff. He wrote all that stuff in the town I was born in. And so when I went to MI, when I was at GIT, in the 80s, you know, you kind of got to help the kids coming in that don't have any theory in music history and stuff. You get extra credit if you teach these things. And I used to get, you know, like we'd have a room of like, you know, it was the 80s, so like there was the poodle heads and there was the leather pants guys and the blue eyeshadow guys and then the Euro sweet guys and all this kind of stuff. And they were always arguing about their musical styles and how they're unique and they're invented out of anything. And I'd get on the whiteboard and go, you know, complete bullshit. You, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite band? I'd draw this family tree and I could take it all back to Scott Joplin.
Wow, interesting.
You know, like all American music.
Yeah.
Except
we have a guest.
Except
is it Lemmy or Dave Grohl?
You know, I'm in their parking spot.
Oh.
Is it your neighbor?
You know, it's funny you should mention that because I can remember seeing this interview with B.B. King. You know, here's somebody who's taught all of these blues guys, was the influence for Clapton and all of these.
He's one of the cornerstones of blues.
And I remember him saying in an interview, you know, like they were like, so how did you know, all of these, you know. You know, where did all that come from?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Louis Armstrong. I was just like, so he just lifted those licks from a trumpet player, transposed them onto a guitar.
There's some dude selling chocolate bars, man.
Lunch with Dan Boul.
Lunch with Dan Boul. It's the chocolate lunch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't have sandwiches or nothing.
No, but like all American music, except for country and bluegrass, which comes from European folk music, emanates, the first recorded, whether it's recorded on paper or on tape, emanates from Scott Joplin.
Yeah.
You know?
That is interesting. I never thought of it that way.
And there's another branch, you know, that is related directly to New Orleans stuff. That's when I first started recording it, you know, where like, you know, graduate students in New England would go, we should go down and record all the Negroes. And, you know, and get the indigenous people's music. And that's where all this stuff, so it was a way to get the metal guys and the rock and roll guys and the punk guys and the jazz fusion guys go, no, dude, we're all the same family.
Yeah.
It's all the same stuff. And anyway, it's fun. I can tell you loads about that.
He's going to tell me loads.
Unfortunately, yes. Damn it. Well, let's see. It looks like we've been either boring everyone to death or riveting them to death. Because now we're holding on to our crowd. So I think we've done okay. So guys, I think we got to wrap it up here pretty quick. We didn't play enough guitar this week, and
we'll make up for it next week.
We'll do it. We're just kind of getting everything together.
Practice, and then we'll do some riffing.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe we'd do Stairway. I used to do this bit on the show, like, you know, like you go into Guitar Center, there's always some kid playing Smoke on the Water in E.
Yeah.
You know, like I did a whole show once with a Strat, like it's in G, and you play it like, you know, you got to use your thumb and you got to finger pick, and it was just hilarious. I was like, oh my God, I've been playing, you know, a million people play the song wrong, so we can do that as well. Stairway to Freebird, absolutely.
Like it.
Right, send in your request to be
ignored, and then I'm gonna scat "Don't Worry, Be Happy" over it.
Yep.
Yeah, with a little bit of Gangnam Style beat.
I'll play the spoons.
The spoons. That's cool.
We're gonna get you some congas, some light percussion. We'll all huddle around. We'll do our little
exactly.
Jam, you know.
Exactly. I'll bring the patchouli.
I'll see if I can get B.B. King.
Or his brother Murray. Have you ever heard his brother Murray playing?
Murray King.
Murray King. Yeah. Most people don't know Murray.
The Jewish brother. Yeah. Right.
He's kosher, but fuck, he rocks. He rocks. He absolutely rocks. But not on Friday night.
Right. And he gave up wearing the tallis for performances. I like that.
Yeah, you can't do it during Shabbat.
Can't do it on Shabbos, dude.
You can't do it during Shabbat. I mean, it's
not on Shabbos.
But
I don't roll on Shabbos.
Well, we went there, didn't we? So we've insulted. Let's see. We've insulted.
I don't roll on Shabbos.
Okay, so now comes the apologies section of the show for people we've insulted. I want to apologize to drummers. I want to apologize to African Americans. I want to apologize to our Hebrew brothers.
Mexicans.
And Ace Frehley, if you took it wrong again.
Ace Frehley.
You took that wrong again.
Ace, we all love you, but dude, come on.
Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles.
Mel Brooks, we want to apologize to Mel Brooks.
And the Beans.
And the Beans.
and the dimes.
and the Bush's baked beans.
Can you imagine they only charged a dime to get on the Lepeta Main Freeway?
It was the 1800s. Yeah. Did we go there too?
No, but we should have.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave that one for next week.
I didn't say that.
We want to apologize to the dudes out in front of Home Depot.
Any jihadists out there, I had nothing to do with this conversation.
That was funny.
You're either with 65 amps or you're with the terrorist. That's all I'm saying.
We'll make no distinction.
Yeah, and just know that it all comes out of love, and we're all full of shit. How about that? But anyway, so before we end, I want to, on a serious note, I want to thank Bob and Brett sincerely for having me here.
Welcome to our little slice of heaven here.
I'm extremely honored to be here, and you're doing me such an incredible solid that I'm sincerely grateful.
This is a hint at lunch, I have a feeling.
I want, because I'm only buying tacos. Love you too, Anita. Thanks, darling. And,
bye, Anita.
And I want you guys to know these guys. I don't know if they're going to participate like this in every show. Of course, they're welcome to.
I mean, we don't want to,
but
we don't want to invade Lunch with Dan Boul. Lunch with
I want you to know who's making this happen, and that's these guys.
Maybe we'll just sort of chime in and out.
Oh, I love having you here.
But like Lazy Saddles, we can make cardboard cutouts of ourselves when we're not actually there. So we can stand up behind them.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Howard Johnson's one flavor.
I think we should start to get some of the other guys we know.
Yeah.
You mean like Rudy Sarzo and people like that to come down and Billy Sheehan and some of the cats.
All the cats.
Doug Aldrich.
You named two bass players though first. I'm a little perplexed by
that. Because we.
Well, I already mentioned Lemmy and Dave Grohl and them, so
bass player, somewhat guitar.
Well, this way we could jam. You see, because we have a bass player, then we got guitar players, we got a drummer, and then we could actually,
it's got a good point.
Blame it on the Bass Nova or something.
Absolutely. I was thinking maybe the theme from Dr. Zhivago, but
we'll work.
B flat, the key of distinction.
Is it in B flat? Oh yeah, it's a horn key.
We'll get Pagey to come by.
Oh, right. I'll get the Night Watchman from Abbey Road. I remember the time, Ringo.
Right.
Yeah.
Paul's in town.
Yeah. Probably not.
Did you see the one where Paul and Madonna were? Oh, that's a different thing.
Yeah. We'll have to get the microphone fixed. But other than that,
we'll get a rig going here. I think I can. What I should probably get, and not to bring more gear into your space and invade.
So you mean I can't keep this?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that. I'm actually going to leave that here, and I brought a Telecaster too that I didn't even get to, but there's a boom that can just hang over.
That's a good idea.
Or we can suspend a mic.
Sure.
Something like that.
Makes sense.
And then we can treat it a little bit with some compression, and then when we're
get some effect on there.
Right.
Although the lapels are not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea.
We can do the labs too.
But this way we can walk around and show off all our stuff.
Yeah, if we had wireless. I have 2 wireless labs.
Really?
Yeah, they're not real high quality, but for this, it's probably fine.
Well, we'll see what the audience would like,
Yeah.
If they want the guided tour.
Do you guys want us to wear clothes on the show, or?
It's the Lunch with Dan Boul
I gave
dancers.
Bob a heart attack.
The Lunch with Dan Boul dancers. Like the solid gold dancers. The Dan Boul dancers.
No, the Dean Martin
we can
gold
go to the porn
diggers.
place down the street and get some girls to come.
Oh God, yeah, no, I think we're good on that. I mean, they have this thing now called what is it? The internet.
Is there?
If we jam though, we'll get go-go girls.
Oh yeah, we can get some dancers like knee-high boots.
We need
short shorts.
It needs a theme song.
We do. You know what I needed? Credits, and I need a theme song. Exactly. How much? Let's use some really heavily copyrighted material and just see what happens. I didn't tell you, I got shut down by Zeppelin one week on here, by Warner Chappell or whoever owns their publishing.
They did, right?
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was talking about somebody made some comment about Billy Squier, and I said,
reason to get shut down immediately.
Yeah,
right there.
But I'm like, you got to be fair. Like Billy Squier was doing Zeppelin, only he was trying to make it more palpable for kids. And there was a couple of Billy Squier songs, and it came into Nobody's Fault But Mine. And I started like working out the lick because I hadn't played it since I was in high school or something. And I worked out the lick to Nobody's Fault But Mine. And then I showed everyone how to play it. Because these guys like, oh yeah, do this, no, hit the D there, And then I got shut down. They shut me down on YouTube. They closed my YouTube account, sent me a cease and desist letter. And
somebody is paying attention, obviously.
Right, and I had to like delete the video and write him a note and all this stuff. And I wrote him at first. I contacted the lawyer right back and said, I'm not getting paid for this show. Like, I'm not making any money off of this. Yeah. And I think I probably sold you a few records, if worst case scenario. And they just didn't budge. So I just went, okay, fine, I'll delete the video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody's tight real estate.
Yeah.
Somebody's looking.
So I thought maybe we'd call our band Microsoft. And
see how quickly we can get sued.
Yeah.
Now my lawyer's on vacation this week, so we might have to use somebody else.
Johnny, we need a theme song.
If you don't mind, let's just wait till next week.
We don't have to rush it. I don't want to
make sure.
I don't want to be rash about it. Yeah, we can write songs called like Coca-Cola's Awful, and stuff like that. Did I say that on? I said it on the recording. I love Coca-Cola, and I have Microsoft products. All right. So I think we should cut it off. It's 1:45 already. This has been good.
It's been good.
This has been really good. Porn stars and guitars.
Had a great time.
Look at all these comments going through. This is great.
What are they saying now?
Everyone's laughing their balls off, except for Anita. I won't even say anything bad about Anita. She's such a lovely person.
Anita.
You gotta meet her. And seriously, check out Davey Farragher. I don't know if you might not have been here. Do you know Davey Farragher plays bass for Elvis Costello?
I know the name. I don't know him personally.
Ridiculous bass player. I mean, literally Jamerson and McCartney in one guy.
Wow.
He's just robust and melodic and groove. He lives here in L.A. What is he?
No, I was asking Brett, how come we haven't used this guy? And he gave me the look of because...
Well, he's not a metal dude.
Yeah. I mean, not that we haven't done records that were metal, which we have.
He's in my fantasy band.
I mean, we use Jimmy Haslip and cats like that. He's not exactly Mr. Metallica.
Right.
That's a great player, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys like that. Yeah.
But you know how you play fantasy football? You put your favorite players on one team?
Yeah.
And I play fantasy band. And Davey Farragher is my bass player.
That's cool. Check that out.
Yeah, he's got a band here in town called Jack Shit. And with Val McCallum and Pete Thomas, who's a Costello's drummer.
Uh-huh.
And they do this shtick. It's hilarious. They dress up like complete hayseeds, like cowboy shirts, giant cowboy hats, and they have this deer in the headlight. Well, thank y'all. We wrote that song coming in from the farm last night. And then they just play their balls off. I mean, Val McCallum's like, top level studio guy here in town, like Lyle Workman, Mike Landau, quality guys. Yeah. And they're all that kind of player. And then they just kill you with this music. And they sing 3-part harmonies and then they go, well, gee, one time when we was out working turnips in the field, Pete came to us and said, hey, how about we do one in C? And it's just, they don't go out of character the whole time. And so your beer is just shooting out of your nose about 3 or 4 songs in.
Pretty funny. I'd see that.
I would see that.
It's very fun. Is there an email address? Yeah, Dan at 65 amps. He comes from the salt mines. That's right. That's where they come from. Have Bob play the ocean. Okay.
I played it already.
He played it. Oh, yeah, maybe so we can get the Zeppelin guy on this again. Nah, that's fine.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all I know.
Itch My Scratch.
You'll know the other half next week.
I'll tell you what, Itch My Scratch.
When Bob moves to notes 5 and 6.
They play the baked potato or McCabe's and all that stuff all the time.
Oh yeah, great.
Jack Shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to the baked potato? Were you out here in the 80s or were you still in New York?
I know, I went there a few times.
Did you ever go see Lukather's band there in the 80s?
Actually.
Los Lobotomies?
Yes, I did.
They had these incredible songs with great titles, but no lyrics whatsoever. And there's one I tell Luke every time I see him, I go, hey man, we got this song, and it's like a 6/8 thing, and it's called "Get Your Dick Out of My Ass Before I Start Digging It." And then they would just rip,
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Great title.
That's a really good title.
It's a good name for a band, I think. I mean, it's long, but you have to make the posters.
Been long.
We could cut it down,
Imagine them announcing that
you
on the
could circumcise it.
And here is
the winner of Best Song of the Year.
Dick out of my ass.
Yeah.
Introduced by Taylor Swift.
Right, which beat out I'd Rather Eat You Than Starve. Exactly.
Nice.
There's a lunch joke right in there as well.
Nice.
Bob got me on that one. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my God. I'm going to have to edit that one out of the recording.
So on that note, whichever note that is.
Woo! Yeah, that was a P flat.
P flat.
Oh my Lord. I haven't laughed.
Well, my guitar teacher used to say to me, don't be sharp, don't be flat, just be natural.
But you... Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, but the question is, I've used up all my good jokes. What do we do next time?
You got a week. We got a week to refresh.
It's good.
Oh my God. All right. Wow, I'm crying. That one got me.
He's crying.
That
he's
was
crying.
funny.
We're hungry and he's crying.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
I need some chamomile tea and some me time now.
Chamomile tea?
That was funny.
Is that like a veil I needed,
Yeah.
Some goodies?
Chamomile tea.
Yeah.
Anyway, fellas and lady. And if there were any other people who were offended by our vulgar sense of humor, I sincerely apologize, but we're all grown-ups, right? So, yeah. You got to get underneath it.
I didn't get to that part yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. See, it's in G.
In G, you
It's
morons.
in G. I'm going to walk around Guitar Centers going, hey, kid, come here.
Wouldn't that be great if you could just do that, see somebody, doing something wrong, and bam, just slap them in the head.
Oh, here, let me see it.
It's like the old Monty Python joke where they had these guys who were rich.
Yeah.
And they would sit in their cars and wait for somebody to, make a U-turn or do something screwy, and then they'd crash right into them. They get them off the road.
It was part of that upper crust Ponce thing, wasn't it? Yeah. They have the upper crust Ponce Olympics.
So we'll have Richie Blackmore here next week. No worries.
Next week, you heard it
and
right here.
He'll show you how to play
Richie
Smoke on the
Blackmore.
Water.
But if Richie's not here, we can get his brother Murray, right?
And I can tell you all my Richie Blackmore stories.
Okay.
I got some Richie.
We got good ones then. Okay, we'll do that. Upper class twit. That's right. Exactly. Bring on the fourths. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week from Office Studios in Van Nuys, California. So have a good week and take care.